Alright guys, welcome back to another Impact Wrestling episode. This is another just a breakdown episode where we're going to talk about a bit of what happened at Bound for Glory in the previous episode. We'll update you on our roster, titles, who we might bring in, and a couple of things that are going on generally in the world of pro wrestling. In this save, obviously. So, we are going to start, obviously, by covering just a wee bit of the show history. Of course, we had Bound for Glory. All of our titles stayed, bar our Impact World Heavyweight Champion, who was able to, EC3 was able to become the new champion. Now, I don't know if we'll be doing another pay-per-view at the end of this month. I think we will. I think Impact did in real life. We have one currently scheduled in. Turning Point, I think that was the one Impact ran, or it was Final Resolution, because they ran one in November and one in December, right? Or they're running one in December. I just need to figure out what way around it is. It doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to keep it semi the way they done it. Although we did, have changed a couple things in terms of our roster, so I can talk you through who we've got and some plans for some people, and we'll show you some of the changes for ratings and stuff. Perception, Major Star. I think the only one Major Star for the roster, Sami Callihan. That victory over RVD done big for him. He went up like 11, almost everywhere. So he's the guy now. We have a storyline for him. I'm not going to show you guys the storylines for the next episode. I might have done it last time, but I'm going to keep it closed this time. Plus, I know a lot of them aren't actually read up yet, because obviously we have the tag team Fatal 4-Way to run. And I have a couple of tag team feuds I want to run before we actually, get into pay-per-view. But of course, I've a title match that couldn't happen on the pay-per-view that has to happen on Impact, unfortunately. And now we have to sort out what day we actually have talent. In terms of our actual stars, it's sort of the same people as last time. Obviously, Chris Bay, still X Division champion, now partnered up with Leo Rush. EC3, our new heavyweight champion. Let me know in the comments below if there's someone you would like to see EC3 feud with. He will probably feud with former champion Eddie Edwards first, but let me know if there's stuff you would like me to be showing you. EC3, I don't think he gained. Did he gain a massive amount? No, not really. He kind of stayed the same. He has pretty much stayed the same, so hopefully a good run with the belt will bring him up a bit. Maybe a feud with RVD or Callahan would be handy. Or RVD's actually dropped a lot by the looks of it, so maybe an RVD feud would not be all that good for him. Or that I missed it. Dino Perazzo's still Women's Champion or Knockouts Champion. Anybody else to talk about here? Leo Rush. This is what his stats look like for those interested. And he's currently on a heel loudmouth manager gimmick. That is the wrong tab. This is his popularity. Nothing special. But I think he works well with Chris Bay. We'll find out more about their relationship in the next episode, but the way I envision it is a bit like manager / tag team partner kind of role. Not exactly what he done for Bobby Lashley, because I feel like he was a bit more of like a tag team partner. It was a rare tag team partner thing, but in this case he will be just the tag team partner of Chris Bay, who happens to also manage him a little bit. He also has a prickly personality. I'm hoping that's not going to affect us too much in the long run. It was something I was kind of worried about. I think we have quite a good backstage in Impact though, so we should be alright. I assume that's only there though because of the issues he had WWE at the end, but hopefully we'll be alright. Trey, of course, still tangled up with the X Division champion. There's not a lot to say this month, because I kind of know where we're going with a lot of people. I don't want to give away too much. Not a lot happened here. Daga, unfortunately, I don't think really grew. Which, yeah, he didn't grow tall, which really bothered me because he was on TV a lot more than usual. I'm hoping that's not because of the partnership with Hernandez. Because because he won more matches, I believe, in the last sort of month or two. Where is Impact Wrestling here? There we go. No, that's ICW. Yeah, like he's sort of. Well, he won one more. Okay, he won one more match. Never mind. Yeah. So maybe we just need to start giving away more wins, I guess. Kelly Ray, I believe, had a big pop-up. Yeah. So she had a big jump. We need a new contender for the Knockouts title. Will it be Kelly Ray? I think Tina Dashwood actually lost pop, did she? I had to flick through some of these previously. Her tab's on a one for some reason. There we go. No, she had a drop. So we might have to build that back up just. Because you don't want to lose too much. She's a valuable member of the roster. And then now I think we have a more accurate look at who is actually, not unimportant, but who is actually lower down on the roster. I probably should do something with the Deaners. I think Impact featured them a lot more than I do. I don't think they feature them a whole load, but I know they definitely feature them more than I do. But other than that, I'm pretty much okay with where everybody is at the minute. And then we will cover our titles. So as I said, the Knockout Champion needs a challenger. Her prestige is not going anywhere for some reason. Defenses are getting a little bit better, nothing special though. There's a lot of women that could, we've seen stats-wise. Women like Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie, Havoc, all have numbers, in-ring performances that could compete with Jenna Perazzo, and it's not a massive pay-per-view up next, so we could have a slightly less grand match. And of course, Kelly Ray is someone who, on TV, has picked up a lot of momentum recently. In terms of the... we'll go X Division next. We clearly know where this belt's going. Chris Bay will continue his feud with Trey, now that it is his new alliance with Leo Rush. World Tag Team title, not much to say about it because we delayed the real match, unfortunately. So the Fatal 4-Way will happen in the main event of Impact Television, and we will find out if the Guns can retain the belt. Let me know what you think in the down below. Let me know who you would like to see the Guns face. Obviously, there's still that singles match out there with the Good Brothers. We haven't done the Rascals on this save yet, as far as I know. So there's matches out there for them. EC3, our new Impact Heavyweight Champion, or World Champion, is three-time champion. I'm looking forward to getting him involved. Obviously, his first feud, as such, will be with Eddie Edwards. So, hopefully that should do good. I mean, Sami Callihan is someone who definitely could be involved long-term in the title picture. He'd either really boost the title or he would really boost EC3, which in return would boost the title. The belt hasn't moved much. I think one of the belts has. Is it the X Division belt? Yeah, there's a wee bit of growth there. But the belts are sort of staying the same. Obviously, there's not been a great amount of title matches. But I think we'll pick up a few more. Obviously, with the pay-per-view this month and in December, we should pick up a few more. I'll run you through my shortlist quickly. Or no, what we'll do is we'll talk about the rest of the wrestling world. I will show you who my... this is my creative stuff. RVD and Sami Callihan are the franchise players. Next big thing, Lacey Ryan. Hot prospects. A lot of ones we're actually going to push. I haven't looked at Lacey Ryan much. We may have to find something for her, if she is going to be this incredible talent. We'll skip these sort of ones. They say the same a lot as far as I'm aware. Who's hot? Chris Bay, Moose, Jenna Perazzo, Jordan Grace, Eddie Edwards. Just how we like to see it. Disappointed EC3 is not on there, but I can deal with it. Who's not? Kimberly, Tommy Dreamer. I don't think we've had Tommy Dreamer in the ring yet. Kitty Forbes, that's fair. Rich Swan's disappointing, but he did just have a big loss, so maybe we can sort that out for him. Hidden Gems. It's taking a minute to load. No Way Jose. Probably not. I think with the Impact, you've got sort of toe the line of who's a WWE guy or an AEW guy that you're willing to bring in, and who's not. You know, who makes you better and who doesn't. And I don't think Noah Jose makes us better. Warhorse, is that the... I feel like I'm mixing him up with... No, I'm mixing him up with Danhausen. Is that right? Yeah, I think I'm mixing him up with another guy, but... Or I'm not. But I feel like I recognize the name. Don't know much about him. Jacob Fatu, I think, is on my short list. If you want a big monster, he'd be great to bring in. Great stats, 80 menace there. 77 star quality. Good in-ring stats. He'd be something different. I don't think we really have. We have Moose, but we don't have like a beast. We don't have a monster. So that could be maybe something to bring in. And then in terms of the bottom two, Hammerstone, I recognize the name of. I don't think we'll bring in. Sean Stott, I do not recognize the name of. So maybe that'll be someone to look up. And then what I actually meant to do was Tour Company. These are our 5 guys. Sammy Callahan, who I expected. Carl Anderson, who I did not. Doesn't even hold a belt. Not sure why. EC3R World Heavyweight Champion. Hopefully, in the next coming months, he will be our #1 guy. Is Austin. Nice to see him there. Obviously, someone I'm a big fan of, and someone that I will hold belts and get a push in this save. And again, oddly, Alex Shelley. I guess he holds a belt, but I would have expected someone different in there. I would have liked it to look sort of like Sammy Callahan, EC3, Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, and maybe Rich Swann. Moose in there. There are a lot of guys I would have rather have in there. Stick Diana Perazzo in there. I would have rather, you know, had that be my main 5. So let me just get my list up of the things that have happened in wrestling in this save, and then we will cover all of the shortlist stuff, the guys I might bring in. So first off, we had, if you are interested in this save, Sean Spears and Peyton Royce have divorced in this save. We have had a retirement, a disappointing one, as I think they would have had an impact on us, pardon the pun, if they had have came back. Mickey James, of course, is set to retire, hasn't officially retired yet. I think you can see that in her news page, if I can find that. Yeah. Oh, well, it's not coming up, but I seen a comment that she's supposed to be retiring at some point. Then, in more WWE news, there was the promotion of Walter. An interesting one, because he really... It doesn't seem like he's going to go to main roster. But he has in this, after dropping the belt to Jordan Devlin, which I don't think will happen in real life, especially at TakeOver Cardiff, to then he appeared on a pre-show, tagging with Mustafa Ali, and then tagging with Angel Garza a couple times on pre-shows, appearing at WXW, Hell in a Cell pre-show, made it to TV, teaming with the Viking Raiders. More 6-man tags. Made it the whole way to Crown Jewel then, where he lost in a nice looking fatal 4-way cage match for the IC title. So far, I feel like if this was real life and Walter debuted this way, I don't think people would be happy. Let me know a couple things. Obviously, we used Walter previously on our New Japan Pro Wrestling Booker save, and we done matches like him and Shingo. I think he traded matches with Kenta a wee bit. But obviously in main roster WWE, you'd want to see him wrestle AJ, Ricochet, Daniel Bryan, you know, Drew McIntyre. I think he probably has wrestled some of those before. But, you know, those kind of big names. I think a Sheamus match with him would probably be great. And I'm not like a Sheamus guy. But that would probably be a good match. WWE have declared war on both AEW and New Japan. They also loaned the big dog, Roman Reigns, out to NXT UK. Let me know who you would like to see him wrestle in NXT UK. It doesn't look like he made an appearance for NXT UK, which is disappointing. He got loaned down there. and to not have him wrestle. I mean, I guess the only person you would ever want to see, yeah, there it is. The only person you would ever want to see Roman Reigns wrestle in NXT UK really would be Walter. So to have him, Walter go up and Roman Reigns go down to NXT UK is a disappointing thing, I would think. Would you want to see him wrestle Dave Mastiff, maybe? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't think of anybody else. And then they let Randy Orton go to NXT. So I've noticed that the loan system kind of does some wild things in this. He's still there. Has he appeared? Again, hasn't appeared. They've been there for Roman's been there for probably nearly a month. Randy's been there, I think, for a couple of weeks. No, not even. Probably hasn't had the chance to appear on TV yet, but you know, Randy Orton, I think, is someone going to NXT compared to going to NXT UK. There's a lot more going on for him there. Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. Some great matches that Randy Orton could have down in NXT US. WWE did sack 2 people that you will see on my shortlist later. Those being, and I'll do it this way. Matt Riddle is the first one. Unemployed. And of course, then Patrick Clark. Both men being released. I've no shortlisted them, but I don't really have intentions of bringing in either of them. It's just, obviously, with whatever's going on in real life, I don't know, you know, we don't know 100%. We haven't dealt with it. And also in the game, they've been obviously negatively affected by this, making you less likely to want to sign them anyway. You know, they've currently toxic after being recorded using pro-Nazi imagery and language. That's the way to sort of make them toxic to your locker room. That's hence why WWE have released both men, something that I don't think they'll do in real life. But even if WWE did release Patrick Clark and Matt Riddle, do I think Impact Wrestling should go and sign both men? Probably not, no. Especially if WWE released them for the reasons that were, you know, on the internet. I'm not going to, you know, cover it in these kind of videos, but if that happens, I don't think Impact should sign them. Impact, and this isn't meant to be semi-realistic. It's obviously, it's hard to know what realistic is in a TEW fantasy booker save, because this year alone, Kenny Omega and The Rock have both shown up on Impact Wrestling. So, you know, who am I to judge? I thought the most unrealistic thing was me having Kelly Ray and the Rascals still, but really it's that I don't have Kenny Omega somehow. So, you know, I guess you can't really do much about that kind of thing. Knockouts tag belt. Do I want to bring them in? Maybe. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if there's enough space for them on Impact every week. Maybe on the pay-per-views. You know, you could obviously have Rosemary, Taya, Kylie, Susie, you know, Havoc and Nevaeh, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. You could find Jordan Grace a partner like they did in real life. Jenna Perez and Kiera Hogan, although we don't have them partnered in ours, and then bring in a tag team like Impact did, and we could try it. If people really want it, let me know female tag teams that you want to see. I think, who was it? They brought in someone. I can't remember their names off the dome, but Impact did make a signing we could bring in. They obviously brought in Jazz, I believe, as well. So we could do something like that. I don't know if I would want to do exactly that, but it would give us something to do with Jordan Grace, I guess, as well, seeing she can't compete for the Knockouts Championship, which is obviously by design. WWE made a really weird signing. See if he comes up. Yeah, WWE have brought back Enzo Amore. Again, they wouldn't do this in real life. He beat Kalisto on the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, pre-show. Personally, I don't have any Enzo Amore dream matches, but if you do, drop them in the comment section down below. Yeah, honestly, I'm not saying the 2020 wrestling has been amazing, but I know I certainly would not swap it for this TEW save. You know, a field Walter push on the main roster. Enzo Amore back at WWE. I don't know who their champions are in WWE, but I wouldn't be interested in swapping. Last couple of things. We had another possible or a potential retirement in the next couple of months as Sheena Bazer has announced that she will retire. Something I don't think will happen in real life anytime soon. I think it's more likely she wins the top title in WWE. Well, I hope she does at some point. I'm not sure if her age is right in this. If it is, she's a lot older than I would assume. But she's going to retire in a couple months again. Never would have got her. I think Mickie James would have been the more realistic grab, but unfortunate either way. Quickly, we're going to go to WWE's roster here. I'll show you their champions, but I'm going to show you something else. Another weird, not as amazing. MJF being in the Strong Hearts was probably the peak of what we'll do, but this one was just more weird. Not the Disciples. The Hurt Business have lost Bobby Lashley and gained Jeff Hardy. Now I don't really know what this stable is anymore. Let me know what you guys think. Bobby Lashley swapping out for Jeff Hardy. Is Lashley face? Is Hardy heel? Is the stable heel and face? Who knows? I certainly don't understand it. WWE title holders. AJ. Ziggler and Akam still. Sasha Banks. Cesaro and Shinsuke. Asuka. Bobby Lashley, who is... Does it say if he's face or heel? No, it does not. But is US champion, but not in the Hurt Business. Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Billy and Sasha, and of course Shelton Benjamin. I did see in Shelton Benjamin's defenses Samoa Joe competing for the 24/7 title, which could make this the darkest timeline. You know, Shelton Benjamin competing with Samoa Joe, Akira Tozawa, and Angel Garza for the 24/7 title. I'm sure it'd be a great match, but I don't want to see a 24/7 title hold those kind of names in there. In terms of All Elite Wrestling, their title holders are Jon Moxley, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Hikaru Shida, and Cody. No changes there. I don't think New Japan will have any changes either. But we'll check them anyway, and then I'll run you through some people who we may or may not sign. IC title is Evil. Juniors is Hiromu. Sho and Yo. Evil. Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Shingo Takagi. Bad Luck Fale, Tangaloa, and Tama Tonga. And US champion is Sonata. That's new. Interesting as well. Maybe a big push for Sonata in this save. And then we will show you our shortest. I don't know how long this video is. I know the last one was really long. So I'm hoping this one will be not quite that length. And then I'll just show you who is new and who is not. A lot of these guys I don't think we have a need for right now. Chris Hero. I would bring in Chris Hero if I had ideas for Chris Hero, which I just don't right now. Genuinely, he'd be a great fit. He's a great in-ring wrestler. I'm surprised Impact maybe haven't picked him up, unless he's working through injuries and, you know, not wanting to wrestle during a, you know, the current state, which is perfectly fine. Guys like Daniel Makabe, Davey Vega, the Besties, maybe even an Eli Everfly, are guys that I would want to maybe wait till a spot opens up for them. Because if I bring them in now, they're just going to perform on Explosion, and there's no point in really having them around. James Storm, someone who we're actually going to sign now while you guys are on camera. We've got a bit of money at the minute, so this should be okay. That looks right. I'm actually just doing this quite quickly, but we're going to bring him in, bit of a gatekeeper role maybe. You know, keep him face, bit of an Impact legend. I don't know what Impact are doing with him at the minute, but we'll bring him in, have him in that gatekeeper role like someone suggested in the comments. And, you know, we can maybe get some good feuds out of him, feuding with Ace, Chris Bay, Leo Rush, guys you want to get over. Maybe even get him in a tag team division eventually. Will he take this offer? Higher cut of his merch. Would he take 15? Yeah, he would. Okay, I think James Storm is the only real new one. I don't know anything about Joe Doring. Is that his name? Who they signed recently? And I don't know. I don't have intentions for Sanjay Dutt or Swoggle. I know that may surprise you, but neither man are what I'm looking for right now in our roster. I don't want to have our roster be too bloated. There's some guys I don't use anyway. I don't really use the Deaners. I haven't used Lacey Ryan. I'm not using the entire roster right now. Yes, I know I've just signed Jim Storm, but there's stuff we can do with him. Could you put Storm with the Deaners? Are the Deaners those kind of cowboys? I don't think they are. I think that would maybe not work. But it's something we can maybe look at. You know, I don't want to bring in someone like... let me see, who's on this list? As I said, you know, Chris Hero, Daniel Maccabee, guys like that, if I don't have plans for them. You know, I don't want to force the roster to be a bit too bunged. But I think that is us for this episode, guys. If you've got anyone you want me to sign, dream matches you want to see, feuds you want to see, even if you've got some idea about how I can interact with AEW in this save, or at least make it look like we are, because I know you can't do it quite the way that they do it on TV. It's more seamless in real life. Any ideas you have, let me know, and I will be back with the next episode, which will just be the first episode back of Impact Wrestling, main evented by the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, also featuring the spill out from our new Impact Champion, the X Division, and their newest signing, Leo Rush, and of course, we will crown, with a big battle royale, the new #1 contender to the Knockouts Championship. Not Knockouts Women's, defeats the purpose. But yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I'll see you next one. Cheers.